welcome back in our Kotlin open source code review series. So today we are going to uh, do a code review of a map function. Basically, what is a map function? I'm sure everyone is aware of who is using Kotlin. Still, it's a one-to-one mapping. In what does that mean? It means if you have some kind of an object and you want to convert into the different data structure or a different data type, you always use a map function, or you also can change the format of a same function. Like for example, I have this list ABC and I really want to change only format, not the data type. I want to append something, post. So in this case, I'm not changing the data type, but I'm all changing the format of the same data type. So you can use in a both ways, or also if you want to change to the something else. In this case, it will crash because ABC is not integer, but still now it's saying it will return us a new list of map, which will be the data type of list of int. So that is a map function. It will apply the transformation on each value, and then it will return the new data structure of a list. So that is always a one-to-one mapping in your code. Anywhere you figure it out, or you need to do a one-to-one mapping, map is your friend, and it's kind of a declarative API. So it's and there are total, I think so, 10 methods given by the Kotlin Standard Library. So today's we will only focus on these four: mapTo, mapNotNull, and mapNotNullTo, and the indexing one we will do in the next video. So first we can go inside of a map how they are implementing. So I'm sure you are aware of how to use this function, but now we are going, and before going inside, one thing I will strongly recommend you, if you don't know three things, please go and then check my another video in which we discuss, the video name is Kotlin Standard Library Prerequisite, where I shared the knowledge about the collection API class hierarchy, how iterable interface works, and how the extension methods work. If you are not confident with these three APIs or three concepts, it's pretty tough to understand. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, to understand the internal implementation and the generics. Generics I can take care of, but the other three parts you need to understand. We will not discuss that. So first is this is a map function implementation. Okay, we will only first try to understand the declaration of this method, and then later we will come back and we will map this to this implementation, how this one is working. Okay, so basically this is a generic. It's saying T and R. T is a kind, I'm not sure, but maybe data type, the one on which we are going to apply this function. R is a return type, and this is the iterable. What does this mean, iterable? Again, go to the other video and then check. So anything which is implementing iterable, that can access that map because it's an extension function on a iterable. So list, set, any of my class, if I have my class which is implementing iterable, I will show you in 2-3 minutes. Then we can also apply this map function to that class. Then transform, we are sending the function or a lambda, because in Kotlin functions are a first class citizen, so you can pass those in a function, and then we are returning list of R. So if I try to understand this, I'm saying okay, list is an iterable, we know. Then I'm saying call that map function, which is the extension function. Then I'm saying transform, so we are passing a lambda. In this case, we are saying okay, and 1 minute. So in this case we are sending okay, it is a string type, so T is automatically determined once I call here, because this is T, iterable T, and it can easily recognized by this string, or this one is already know the compiler, so there is no issues. That's why it is always T. This it is a string value, and then what is the returning value, that will be determined by this lambda. So in this case R is basically determined from here, which is int. Or to make this more easy, I can make transform our own lambda, and I can say string and return integer, and then I can pass the same code this, and then after that what I need to do, I need to pass that. So by doing this it makes me more readable. So how it's working now, here it's explicitly mentioned, so I hope this makes sense for you what is going on. And in this case we are saying this transform will be applied on each value in a collection. So now we can move towards the next part, the declaration and the implementation. So from this, now they are moving towards the next method. So basically they are passing or are delegating this to mapTo function. And mapTo function, what that expect, the first parameter is a collection or an array list, and then the transform. So transform is the same transform, but array list is kind of a new. So that's why when you use these methods, you all need to always remember it's always give you the new list. It's not changing into the same one. So it's kind of, we can say it's immutable. Like it's not immutable, but these function always give you the new copy. And what is this method? So in this case we are saying, okay, collection size or default. So this one is important to understand. So basically what is this method? This method is saying if this is collection, this means this iterable. So it's asking if you are an iterable, if you are if you are a collection, then I will use your built-in function, which is size. So collection is an API. Again, this is coming to us the class hierarchy, iterable collection list always extends from the collection. So collection has a method size. So take that size. If you are not coming from that route, then someone will pass this default. So coming again here, in this case, we are passing this 10. To understand more, what I can do for you, I can make this scenario. I'm going to copy this class first. So I can show you what basically means in this case. And now, for example, I have a class library which implements iterable, and I'm saying, okay, this is string. I don't care what is inside of this method. We are implementing somehow some iterator. In this case, I'm going to make lib library function. Now I can still call map. Why? Because we saw map is not only specific to the collection APIs like list, set. Anyone who is implementing iterable, map is available for that class. That is the power of extension function. Then in this case, size, how this will, so in this case this is collection. So basically my library is not a collection. In this case it will say, okay, then there will be no size, so else go and default. So in this case it will get the 10. I hope you understand this. And if I do my library is a collection of string, now in this case it's a collection, it will return size. Why it's return size? Because internally this has all these methods which you need to override. I hope now it makes sense. So moving towards to the next step. So I hope until at this point we are clear. Go back. So now in this case this is done, collection, and then we are returning we are sending a new array list. So this is basically a destination where we want to add this new. So in this case, once I'm calling list.map.transform, this is a new array list. This list will be same. This is a new array list. Basically this new array list is this destination which we are sending. So moving towards the mapTo function. So now in a mapTo function, what they are saying, in our case we send the new array list which is a type of C. In our case this will be type of int, because our transform is a int. So int and returning is C. So this is array list of int, array list of int. Transform is the same method, and this generic is little bit different. So in this case we are also adding a constraint, like this C will be always minimum is a collection. And then this is an iterable, same. Then because it's an iterable can be passed to the loop. So we are saying, okay, for item in this is an iterable. So in our case this is this list, and we will get now A, B, C. one by one. So this item first time will be A, which we are sending in a transform. What this transform will do, it dot to int. It will in this case it will crash, but it, imagine this is a 1 2 3 1 2 3. No need to imagine, I changed. Okay, so this one will do dot to int. It will change into the 1. Then that transform is 1 is saved into this destination, and then this destination will return, which is this map now. So this is the map function. Now map2 is also done because this is the same. Internally they are reusing this function, so we can move this function also up. We are until this. Now next is mapNotNull. What is this? So kind of a map, it's the same thing, only the difference is we are sending a transform which is saying return type may be null. So if I want to use the same above example, in this case, what change I need to do? So I will say nullable, makes sense. Then transform. This will return me now guarantee. The value which I will get is list of integer, not nullable integers, because it will under the hood we will see the implementation it will take. And now in this case, if I return this to A, B, and C, and I will ask dot to int, 1 minute, is parse int. I think this can send the exception. So in case of an exception, maybe I can write. For now I'm writing like this, try, and then catch. Exception will be number format exception. Then so in this case, if there is an exception, it will save the exception. And what should I do? I can send null, and now we'll see what will happen. So try to understand mapNotNull. I'm sending this. In this case, we should get the empty. If we try to run this code, first I want to confirm. So in this case, this mapNotNull should be empty. So ut, and in this case map should have value 3. Yes. So now what happened in this case, mapNotNull, this is a nullable. Try to remember what we implemented here, this transform. So if it's integer, if there is no exception, it will return the integer. If there is an exception, it will return null. But in this case, what will happen with that null? mapNotNullTo. So again, this for each we are calling on a this. So by default for each is this. Then it's saying, okay, element, get that element, transform element. Now we are calling transform element, and we are checking. If it's not null, then put that value. If it's null, then skip, do nothing, and then destination. So I hope now you understand what they are doing under the hood. So this is mapNotNull, and now our last one is NotNull2. So it's same. So behind the scene, mapNotNull is reusing mapNotNullTo. This. So now we understand. So today we spent some time with the map, how it's working under the hood, how they implemented. So you need to be good with the generics, class hierarchy of the collection API of a JDK, extension functions, how they work, and the iterable interface. So see you in the next video. Bye.